Welcome everyone to committee. It is December 9th. It is a meeting of the Building and Utilities Committee. To my left is Councilman Phillips. To my right is Councilwoman Snee. And myself, Samuel Pierce, am chair. So tonight we have a recommendation to council regarding authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety to advertise for bids and enter into contracts for the following projects: recoating of the City Hall roof at a cost not to exceed $125,000, and repairs to coping and metal edging of the roof at the Central Service and Maintenance Facility on Experiment Farm Road at a cost not to exceed $180,000. Do you have anything to add?
Just as by way of background, this would be the second time we've bid this out. Earlier this year, we bid it out and had a budget of less than $200,000. That was woefully short of what the bids came in at, and so we deferred that to 2025. So we are asking for authorization to try again. The projects are still needed to be done, and we are asking for authorization, but we are not asking for emergency legislation.
All right. Do you have any questions?
Just curious, if these bids come back slightly over our estimates, would you come back to us to reauthorize a new amount or defer again?
It depends. Anything within a 10% margin, we do have the ability to come back to you and use those bids, but if they are extraordinarily over, then we would have to look again. But we're reasonably confident, knock on wood, that we should be able to, we put enough conservatism in the estimates.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any questions?
No. From last year's conversations and this year's budget talks, I have nothing out of the ordinary that I would ask on this item.
All right. Does any of the council members in the audience have any questions regarding this? Any staff have anything else to offer? Anybody in the audience have any questions on this? All right, what is your preference on
Move forward?
Move forward?
Move forward, staff's recommending.
Okay, it's unanimous. We want to move forward with staff is recommending on this piece. Number 2, provide recommendation to council regarding authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety to advertise for bids and enter into a contract for the 2025 supply of water meters and appurtenances. I'm sure you can correct me on that, at a cost not to exceed $1 million.
So we're using big word like appurtenances, but those are the attachments to the water meters that have to do with the radio system that we use for the automated reading. You might recall during the budget process and the approval of the 2025 budget that Council has allocated $1 million to begin a 4-year program of replacing all of the meters. Some years we've been able to get multi-year contracts, multi-year bids, but the vendors are not doing that. You might recall earlier in the year we did have to go to a different vendor just because of the relationship between the suppliers and the local distributors, and so this is just our annual request for authorization so we can go out to bid for next year's program. And again, we are not asking for emergency legislation.
All right. Councilman Phillips?
I have nothing to ask on this item.
Councilwoman Snee?
Just wondering, how long does a water meter typically last?
Well,
I mean,
could be anywhere from 10 to 15 to 20 years. There's a lot of factors that come into play. This is not just replacements, but it's also new meters that are added to our system as new builds occur. So it's a couple of different things that happen.
Okay.
We do have some changes in the technology of the readers as well, and so the system has to be updated at the same time.
All right, thank you.
But there's no premium for doing that, but we do need to accelerate the meter replacements as that. We were hoping to do it more gradually, but supply chain issues as well as increased growth put us off that schedule, which is why we're trying to accelerate it now.
All right, and then I have a question for you. This $1 million for 2025 is all going to be spent within 2025 and replace approximately 25% of the meters plus some new ones? Is that accurate?
That's correct. This would be $1 million a year for 4 years out of water and sewer funds.
Okay, thank you. Do any of the staff in the audience have anything to add? Any council members in the staff have any questions? Yes, please approach the podium.
Jeff Schilling, Councilman, 6th Ward. The question, Mr. Titterington, on is, when the developers say for a subdivision, say, okay, we got 50 homes or 100 homes, we need 100 water meters. The city, do we bill the developer for these costs, or is this something that the city just absorbs to help out the developer?
Sure. So we're not doing 50 to 100 at a time. It's as they are built, and it's part of the tap-in fee that the developer does pay us.
Okay, so essentially we'll recover that $1 million over time.
Well, we'll recover a fraction of it for the new builds, but we are also replacing the water meters in 12,000 or whatever properties and water meters that we have out in the system now.
So my water meter is 19 years old, so I should expect a replacement then?
You will eventually get replaced in the next 4 years as part of the overhaul.
Okay, that's good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Do you have any other council members in the audience have any questions? Anybody in the audience have any questions or statements? All right, what's your preference?
Proceed as staff is presented here.
All right.
I agree, move forward.
All right, we are unanimous in our agreement to proceed as staff is recommended. Number 3, provide a recommendation to council regarding the authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety to advertise for bids and enter into a contract for miscellaneous water meter parts for the calendar year 2025 at a cost not to exceed $225,400. Do you have anything to add?
So this is also an annual program. In previous years, we've been able to do 3-year bids, but we're not able to do that anymore, given the vendor preferences. So we are asking for authorization. This is, it is a routine request that we make whenever we need to. It would stock sufficient repair parts as we have to repair. When we can repair a meter, we're going to repair that meter. And it's also parts that are related to the installation of any new meters that we do that are not part of the previous item that you recommended. We are not asking for emergency legislation.
All right. Councilwoman Sneed, do you have any questions?
Not.
I have nothing on this item either.
Do any council members in the audience have any questions about the water meter parts? Anybody in staff have any comments about that? And anybody in the audience have any questions or comments? All right. What is your preference?
Move forward.
Move forward.
Move forward.
All right. We are unanimous in our decision to move forward as staff has recommended on these recommendations. Okay. Thank you. Building utility.